Hola amigos, bienvenidos nuevamente al canal Español con la señora Pérez. Today we're going to be looking at direct object pronouns. Let's go! So by now you've probably realized that in your journey for learning Spanish, you've had to review a lot of English grammar. Here we're going to go ahead and look at one of those topics today. So a direct object pronoun is a word that is used instead of a noun and stands in for the person or thing most directly affected by the action expressed by the verb. Let's look at a quick example. I write a letter. I would be your subject and write would be your verb. So in order for you to identify direct object pronouns, you have to ask yourself the question, what? What do I write? A letter. That is our direct object. Now you can say, I write a letter, or you can even say, I write it. It is taking the place of a letter. Let's look at another example. He sends flowers. Again, our subject is he. Our verb is sends. So what does he send? Yes, flowers. That is our direct object. Now, we know flowers is plural, so we can say he sends flowers or he sends them. Them is that direct object pronoun replacing flowers. Let's take a quick look at the direct object pronouns in Spanish. Really handy chart. I suggest that you write it down and keep it as a reference. So when something is happening to you, so the what is occurring to yourself, right, the I, you want to use the direct object pronoun me. When the what is occurring to you, you want to use te. Now, if something is occurring to it, right, we have masculine lo, and the feminine is our la. Now, let's look at the other side. If the what is occurring to us, we would use nos. And here in the South, we use that vosotros, right, the y'all. And in Spain, they use that vosotros, so you would use os if it's happening to y'all. And in third person, we want to use los and las if it is occurring to them. Again, it falls into that it category as well. All right, let's go ahead and review these in Spanish. And I am using the sentences that we saw before. I write a letter. We know that we can say I write it because it's occurring to the letter. So in Spanish, it would say, yo escribo una carta. Una carta would be a letter. Now, una carta, we know that it is feminine. We look at our article and our ending. We know that it is feminine, and we also know that it is singular. So if we look back at our direct object pronoun chart, we know that for feminine and singular items, we want to use la. So you'd say, yo escribo la. We have one more thing to do. When you're writing or using direct object pronouns in Spanish, you want to go ahead and place that direct object pronoun before the verb. So instead of saying, yo escribo la, you would say, yo la escribo. So it write. It doesn't work in English, but it does in Spanish. Okay, here goes our second example. He sends flowers. And we already know that we can replace flowers with them. He sends them. In Spanish, we have, él envía las flores. Él envía las flores. Now we look at las flores because that is the what he sends. And we again know that this is a feminine subject and it's plural. Las and flores lets us know that it is plural. So we look at our chart and we want to use the direct object pronoun las. Él envía las. So we already know that él envía las is totally wrong, right? because we have to add that DOP before the verb. So it should say, él las envía. He sends them. Bueno, amigos, we have reached the end. I hope that this has been very helpful to you. As always, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions or comments about anything related to Spanish, please put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions or make a video. As always, gracias. Hasta la próxima.